Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm going to look at NECA's 8-inch Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. To preface this, I'm not a huge horror movie fan. I grew up in the Bible Belt. These weren't on the TV a lot at the house. I think the only one I've seen is Dream Warrior, which was kind of cool. You know, the kids get powers, they learn how to fight. I know the premise for all the movies, but for some reason, Freddy scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. You know, Jason, I wasn't going to spend any summers at a cabin by the lake. So he wasn't going to get to me, but man, Freddy came in your dreams. That's just scary to an impressionable young child, you know what I mean? So as an adult, I never became interested in going back and watching any of the movies, but everybody knows who Freddy is. And when NECA sent this along, I thought I'd give it, a chance. Because on top of that, I'm mostly a 6-inch collector. I may get into 7-inch every now and then. This being 8-inch with cloth clothes. I've seen other figures like this at the store, at Toys R Us, Hastings. The dude from Planet of the Apes, who's Taylor. I was this close to getting Ash from Army of Darkness. I just never got around to it. There was always other stuff to buy. So NECA sent this along. I like good toys. So I'm interested in getting this open and seeing, exactly how I feel about this. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this guy open and let's see what's going on. Okay, there you go, out of the package, and I'm liking this more than I thought I would. Like I said, I don't have any experience with this line from NECA, but Freddy here, it's a good toy. If you collect this size line, Freddy is a nice addition to it. I had to peek under the clothes, see what was under there, and it's just pretty much a basic body. Now here, the neck does go down with the sculpted burnt parts onto a basic, just plain torso, and then that torso runs all the way down. There's nothing here. The zipper on the pants is Velcro. This is not that kind of video. But down to here, and then we'll go over the articulation here in a minute. Now, the bits that are showing, the head, the hands, beautifully, beautifully sculpted. They're almost nasty. Just how well sculpted they are, and the paint on top of that. The eyes are nicely painted. He's looking to the right. I assume this is from the movie. It adds a little bit of personality to the sculpt. It's not just a straightforward stare. So I like that kind of thing when they're looking up, looking to the side. If it's character appropriate, you can see it goes all the way around. The back of the head goes down. Or I should say, the neck goes down onto the body just like there. So if there is any skin showing through the hole in the top of the sweater, and I call it a hole because it's really just a tear, and I think that's accurate, it's going to look like, the burnt flesh. Now, out of the package, one of my first gripes is the sweater itself. I'm not a huge fan of soft goods. It does work. It just looks a little bit bulky, and I think it's because of the material used here to make it look like a sweater. It is actually knitted, so the material just makes it a little bit bulky. Now, you get down to the pants, they look fine for this scale. They don't look, thick and huge and, just bulging off the body. It's pretty much just pants. I've got his legs straight, so they look odd, but you get into poses, and they look like pants. The pants totally work for me. And even the sweater is not terrible. Now, the sweater does shed some. I've been getting a lot of green bits. But that's to be expected with all the frayed edges here. I'm hoping the more it's played with, the less it does that. Because I'm getting green bits all over my little display here. Now, articulation-wise, he has a ball neck. Kind of on a pin. It's a double ball, so you get some side to side. You get really good side to side, up and down. The head does come off. We'll get to that here in a minute with the accessories. The shoulders are on a hinge and swivel, so it swings out, then it goes all the way around, but the sweater's going to get caught up in the turn, so you got to kind of twist it. But he gets all the range all the way around. He does have a bicep swivel under there. Single elbow right there. But it does get a little bit past 90. He can almost come all the way to there. I've got the sweater pulled up. There you go. The wrist is a hinge and swivel. Swivels around. Hinges back and forth. The claws are a little bit bent out of the package, but they seem to be forming back to their original shape. They're pretty straight now. The waist is just a swivel. There's nothing in the torso. That's kind of disappointing, but not a deal breaker here. He can get down hunched pretty good. It fakes it at the hips, which are a ball type hinge and swivel. They hinge out, then they go forward. It feels like they're pinned 90 degrees into the crotch. There's a thigh swivel, or maybe it's on the ball right there. But it does swivel out. It's a single knee. It goes back about that far. And then we get down to the ankles. This is probably my bigger gripe. I can get by on the sweater. It's just a single hinge for the ankles. And the problem comes in that the shoes, while they are well sculpted, if you put him flat-footed, the shoes kind of angle up in a way. So already, when you go for a wide stance, his feet are already going to be angled up. It's going to be standing on the sides of his shoes. Even when he's standing straight, they angle up a little bit that way. Standing straight up, it doesn't really affect his ability to stand. But once you get out in wider stances, you can balance it. And you can kind of fake it when he's stepping forward. But you can still see this boot sticking up like that. A rocker ankle of some kind would have been awesome down here at the end of the foot. I'm good with the lack of torso on a figure like this. I'm good with single joints here. But the ankles just add so much posing possibilities that I miss them whenever they're not there. Now, he does come with an alternate head. It's just nasty. But that's a good thing. Just burnt. It's well painted again. The eyes are looking forward this time, but they're way deep into the head. Just angry looking Freddy. And then he has exposed brains on the top. They're shiny, like they're, just freshly open. Just nasty. So the head is removable, but it's a little bit tough to get off. The ball fits really well into the socket inside the heads, and you can see that the movement here, it gets all around, and then there's a ball on top of that. Getting the other head on takes a little bit of pressure, but it does go on there, and it stays on there, so that's good. And when I was taking pictures a minute ago, I noticed that man, that head looks big, but it doesn't really look big. It's almost natural to this body size. It's just when you get it forward, it kind of looks that way. So when you see the pictures later in the review, it's not an actual bobblehead. It's just, the way it's posed. Now, he does come with a hand that has the claws on it, but I'm not as familiar with this as I am, the classic gloved hand, which is good because he does come with that hand. And you can see here how it does come a little bit bent out of the package. And again, it's been reforming as it's been out. I may have to put this under some hot water and get it to straighten out. These two blades are excellent right here. It's these two that have kind of the problem. And the glove is just, it just has the extra paint apps that just make it look awesome. The copper and the goldish kind of bronzy color to it, and then the leather underneath. It even has a skin on the inside where it's open, and then inside the fingers. silver, I mean, that's a lot of paint apps for just an accessory. Well, an important accessory. But the hands are a little easier to pop off. It just comes off, and then you put the gloved hand on. And it looks really good. His thumb is kind of splayed out there really far, but I can live with it. And then lastly, he comes with his iconic hat. This is the way I picture Freddy. Would have been disappointed if there wasn't a hat, but there is a hat, and it goes on fairly well. It stays on, it goes down, it goes on both heads. I think it goes on this head better. It doesn't quite lock down, but it goes down enough to where it looks, like I said, natural. It doesn't look like it's sitting on top of his head. His head is actually inside the hat. I can dig that. So at the end of the day, like I said way back at the beginning of this, this isn't the kind of figure I would normally buy, but I'm pretty happy with this. But saying that, when I got this in the mail, a buddy of mine at work, I was bragging about it. He's a huge horror fan, but he's not a toy collector. But as soon as I started talking about this, he wanted it. So this will probably go to my buddy and hopefully turn him into a toy collector. Maybe he'll go out and buy some horror toys. It's Freddy. It's iconic. Everybody knows who Freddy is. It's scary. But you should have seen the look on my buddy's face. He wants this bad. So, what can I do? I'm a giver. If you like the review, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. But each one, is an individual. They're definitely different. I love the colors. I love the detail. I love the sculpt work. The missing paint on the netting is kind of a negative, but I'll live with it, or I'll paint it myself. Yeah, if you get a chance, go out and grab these. It's actually, sewn. What do you do with sweaters? You knit them. Maybe he'll, start up all kinds of. I'm just rambling on.